Valiantys. I am the Senior Business Support Analyst at Generali in the IT department, and I manage our single instance of Jira. So more about that. I will just briefly tell you a little bit about Generali. Assicurazioni Generali, or Generali as we just say. We are one of Europe's largest insurers of property, including personal and commercial, and in the UK, we are the largest provider of employee benefit solutions, and we are currently expanding into the personal health markets. Our IT department and a couple of lines of business reflect our core 150 users. We have a potential of about 30,000 customers, internal customers, but really only a couple of thousand of those are actively requesting support. Real quick question, how many of you are using Jira Service Desk? Oh, good. That's excellent. I want to talk to all of you. Our platform owner is Peter Bates, who unfortunately is unable to be with us here today. I'm the service owner for our instance of Jira. We're on Jira Service Desk 3.2, Jira Server 7.2. We are running at a volume of about a little over 1,500 tickets a month, more or less, and we've got about 72 projects, and I have 3 service desks up here. We actually only have 2. Our IT service desk and our facilities service desk. As I said, we have about 150 active Jira users and a couple of thousand service desk customers globally. We have about 21 add-ons. We use a monthly maintenance routine where we update all the add-ons, we dump the cache, we restart the services, and we re-index, and so on and so forth. And then for Jira administrators, we have 3. I'm the primary one, and there are 2 secondary ones that we use. A little bit of background about our environment and our landscape. We didn't implement Jira Service Desk until about 2013, 2014. And doing so was really an effort to formalize our service delivery. We increased our portfolio of add-ons, and we included Confluence in our platform as well. Prior to that, we were really just using it for project management and risk management. In 2016 and 2017, and into this year, the adoption of the tool set has grown to include 2 or 3 major lines of business, major month-end processes, and the catalyst for a lot of the growth that we have seen in the last year was the decision to outsource our frontline and our desk side support services. So with all of that go the usual challenges. How do you continue to justify the cost versus the benefits? As we have more people using this service, we have to service it better and them better. So how do we manage that with resources, both physical and people resources as well? How do we continue to maintain the integrity of all the add-ons? How do we provide oversight and governance on how those all work together, especially when this add-on wants to be updated and this new feature is available for this add-on, and how do we take advantage of all of these things that we've already paid for and not break the instance in the process, which we've done. I've done that. I've broken it before. I'll cop to that. Maintaining our configuration management database. There's admin burden, there's regulatory oversight, there's, how do we maintain it? How do we incorporate best practices? I know you've all come up against these. And, the solutions that we have come up with today may not be the same solutions that we come up with tomorrow or in a different context or next year or when we have to spin up a new instance. So now, having said that, that's kind of where we were. Let's talk more specifically about Jira Service Desk. because that's my bread and butter right now. Our efforts around, it was, like I said, it was driven by our efforts and our decision to outsource our first line help desk and our desk side support services. We had enormous challenges. The first one being that our internal customers didn't really know that there was a customer portal available. So they didn't, most of the time they're just emailing in their issues. In fact, I think more than 70% of everything was being reported via email. So they had no concept of the customer portal. They didn't understand that we actually had Confluence and we had end user guides. We weren't doing a very good job of funneling them that direction. And the business needed some consistent and predictable hours and services, and they needed to be able to find out what those were on a regular basis. So what we started with when we decided, okay, we're gonna do this, here's the timeline, we started a really intensive coming soon communications to our end users. And we did that for, let's see, April, May, June, July, 4 months, 3 or 4 months. We got together some end user groups to identify some opportunities about how they were using the help desk, how they were engaging with support, so that we could try to integrate some of those ideas with our Jira Service Desk. We wanted to scale up our own skills, not call Valiantys to say, oh, help, 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 every time we needed something done. So we scaled up ourselves. We learned how to use EasyBI, we learned about automations, we learned about behaviors, we learned about events. Oh my God, how my worldview changed when I figured out how to use events. Oh, those are so great. And customer surveys are a real key to our success right now. So with ScriptRunner, with automation, and with behaviors, one of the challenges that we faced is that our outsourcer wanted to automate everything. And I mean everything. So we still haven't built them templates yet, but we have added a bunch of behaviors which I was inspired to do from last year's Enterprise Day. We added behaviors to make certain fields mandatory for certain groups. Everybody in IT uses Jira. But we don't need everybody in IT to fill in all of the same fields. We need the service desk to fill out very specific fields because there are contractual reasons for that. They need to report, and we need them to be able to report on these things so that we're being billed correctly. So we've added behaviors to give them that ability to make sure that they are filling in certain fields and to help them automate other things. And we're slowly starting to migrate some of our custom scripted emails. Most of our emails in and out, our notifications are custom scripted HTML. And we're slowly migrating some of those out of post functions and into our notification assistant. And then just firing events from post functions. We have built an enormous amount of automation because every time our outsourced service desk touches a ticket, we get charged for it. So anything that's coming in, especially event related, your server sends out an event and it goes to the service desk, and the service desk, the frontline guys have to go, oh, that's this, let's assign it over here. We've automated that in most cases. We've automated priorities. We've automated service level responses. We've automated application notifications, and we've automated an enormous amount of our starter and leavers process. We have several scripted fields that we've started to integrate with Insight, and we've automated subtasks and queue routing using Exocet. So this is one of those customer testimonials. I love Exocet. It's really cool. And Valiantys is actually right now, literally yesterday, today, tomorrow, helping us with our new starter processing again to further automate and further script integration with Insight on our configuration management database. So let me talk a little bit about customer satisfaction. Our customer satisfaction survey. We love this. This is so important to us. Our yearly IT survey highlighted that resolution and engagement were the biggest pain points for our end user community. We acknowledge it too. We have struggled to interact with the business, and this tool has helped us engage better and more often. Our continual service improvement register is composed largely from feedback that we've received using the customer satisfaction survey by Candilio. The other thing we're able to do with this is to really target which issue types we want to send surveys out on. We don't want to necessarily send surveys out on change. We don't want to necessarily send surveys out on subtasks. We want to know about requests, we want to know about issues, we want to know about the new starter process, we want to know about the leavers process. So all of these kinds of things, we can target that and exclude this other stuff that, this project went on 6 months too long, I'm giving you a 1. No, we don't, we're not interested in that. Well, I'm not interested in that, not right now. But this tool, our IT support manager really likes this tool. We feed it directly into our CSI program. And, from his words, if someone takes the time to provide us with feedback and comments, we're going to reach back out and say thank you, or we're going to find out how we can do that better. And this tool really allows us to do that. So we dig this tool a lot. Our CMDB, so we didn't have one. We had the usual challenges that are faced by every organization that doesn't have a defined configuration management database. We didn't even have a federated one. We didn't have anything. So the challenge was clearly, we needed one version of the truth in relation to the applications, the infrastructure, and our service providers. The service desk needed to know who supports what, who owns what, how do we escalate, who do we escalate to, and when. What is this application? What is the service category for this application? They needed some visibility into that information as well. And we had no systematic way of relating our users to the services and the equipment and the accesses that they required from onboarding through departure and all of the moves that occurred therein. So what Insight is helping us do is solve those problems. Very simply, it's helping us solve those problems. So we're right in the process of incorporating views of user-assigned assets into our service desk records. And we're working with, I mentioned this before, we're working with Valiantys to build some automation around the new starter process. But we're still in the adoption mode on this. It's challenging to report on this. IQL is not as easy for, say, me to get my hands wrapped around as it is JQL. We've had a little bit of resistance from some teams in using this and integrating it with some of our other asset management tools. So there's some cultural issues there, which I think we're really close to kind of getting beyond. We're still learning how to use this. I think thinking back to Anthony's, where's Anthony's back there, is I think we're somewhere in the explore to expand. I think we're up in the expand mode on this. It's a little bit painful We have evolved our instance of Confluence because of a whole constellation of issues. The two main ones were that we had no service catalog. Yeah, this is, if you're an ITIL head, this is a huge gap. We had no service catalog. So our user community didn't know what we could offer, when we could offer it, how often, how much, and who to contact. All they knew was call the help desk, call the help desk, call the help desk. So they did, they'd call the help desk. And they didn't know that we had this huge collection of service guides, the end user guides. And we kind of felt that there was really sort of a minimum platform capability with Confluence. You know, we had some tools, we have refined theme, we have team calendar, we have a couple of other add-ins, but we really didn't have the time or the knowledge to get to know these better, to really leverage them to their full capacity. So one of the things we did to meet this challenge was we upgraded our Confluence instance because it was a little bit old. So we updated that. We linked the end user guides to the customer portal, finally. And that helped a little bit, but we still weren't getting very good at funneling our end users out to that customer portal. I'll come back to that in a sec. We added a couple of Exocet buttons to screens. So now we can, so our help desk people, our service desk people can create their KB articles right from there, and we can create end user guides right from there on the fly. Valiantys, is Seif around? Seif is not in the room, helped us build our service catalog space. And it is now the first point of contact for all of our end users to reach IT and the information from their desktop. We actually put a shortcut on their desktop and it goes straight to the service catalog. From the service catalog, they can go anywhere. Having said that, we do kind of feel like Confluence is a growth opportunity for Atlassian, especially around analytics, especially around look and feel. It would be nice for there to be more features out of the box, if you will. Without, I mean, we go to the add-ons all the time, but it would be nice to see a little bit more out of the box with Confluence. It's a great tool. We really like it, and we want to use it more. But it feels a little blocky, a little, I don't know. Can't report on it. Tough. So our service catalog, what we had was our portal. It's branded, it's red, you know, generally red, got the little lion up there. Got our, you know, what do you need help with? It's the usual portal stuff. And our end user guides. Pretty boring stuff. We combined that with Seif's help into a single portal that is feels a little bit more like a web page, which we like. It uses navigation links down the left-hand side, which are static across all of our main pages now. And, ooh, that's right, I've got this thing here. And these guys are also static across most of the pages. Where do we get help? What are my open issues? What are my closed issues? How do you use the guest Wi-Fi? Really the most kind of common quick links that are available there. And self-service guides. I don't think I put a picture of that down there, but we've got about 15 of the top 10 end user guides. We've driven all of this using groups of templates and page resources, banners that we just use macros to populate, include page macros to populate. We have a whole set of main pages with navigation bar across the top. You know, in typical web fashion, the navigation bar is colored where you are, you know, that kind of thing. And then we have interior pages that are a little bit simpler, but still maintain that left-hand navigation column. Really happy with this. We were inspired to go down this route when we saw the UC Santa Cruz service catalog, and we just kind of had one of those aha moments. This is what we want to do. So that was our evolution of Confluence for our end users. As I said, we put the shortcut onto their desktop. It used to be that when they double-clicked on that, they would go to the portal. Now they go to this portal. And there's still a great big search end user guides right up here at the top. And in fact, when we originally built this, the search end user guides was like this tiny little thing. So we made it bigger. Might still make it even bigger. We'll see how it goes. We just went live with that a couple of weeks ago, and we've been introducing it in our service review meetings with our business lines. The response so far has been really optimistic and positive, so cross your fingers. We have pretty much partnered with Valiantys in every single step of our journey. We've asked for assistance with all of our add-ons and in integrating add-ons together. And they've been more than willing to step up to the plate to some of our more challenging requests. And what's next? You know, we're looking at spinning up another instance of Jira Service Desk, possibly hosting with Valiantys. We really need to leverage more value from our CMDB, and we know it, and we think we know how we want to do that through some automation, more integration, and we have EasyBI. I know I can use that to report from the CMDB, so I'm going to be exploring that immediately. And governance. There are a couple of sessions today that I'm very, very interested in. And governance and standards and housekeeping is one of them. But they're continuing challenges. As the group grows, as the instance grows, we have about 70,000 issues out there now. We will probably break that 100,000 mark next year, early next year, I would say. So we're really growing, and you know, Moore's Law, about doubling, it's kind of the way that feels. And that's it. That's what I got for you today. Thank you.